We are literally just doing splits of all this today. So we're doing a lot of stretching. So I hope you enjoyed the leg warm up because it's going to be very useful. Camera angle. We're going to start by lying on our backs. And we're going to do nerve glides. I don't know if you guys done that before. But you're going to bring one knee into your chest. And then I like to lock my fingers behind my quad. And then I pull my knee into my chest. And I straighten my leg. And then I bend it again. I like to flex my foot on the way up and then point it on the way down. And we're doing 4 on each side. So you can go ahead and do that at your own pace. Just do one leg for now. That was a lie. Because we're going to come back and do the other leg. Then when you're done the 4, you're going to do 6 kicks with straight. And then you're going to do 6 with your toe pointed and 6 with your toe flexed. My leg doesn't go very past 90. That's okay. And then flex your foot. Then you're going to grab your leg where you can. And then you're going to pulse it 5 times towards your face. Then you're going to see if you can grab just a little bit higher on your leg. And then just pull it in towards your face for 10 seconds. Try to point your toes. Then we're going to cross that leg over your bottom leg. So bend your bottom leg so you're in thread the needle. Then you're going to grab your bottom leg, cross your fingers underneath your quad, and then pull that leg close to you. You should feel it on the leg that you're kicking in your upper thigh butt area. Then we are going to do the whole sequence again by the other side. So start with your 4 nerve glides. So straighten your bottom leg, bend the other one, pull towards your chest. And then you're going just straightening and extending your leg 4 times and making sure you're pulling your leg towards your chest. Then when you're done that, you're going to do your 6 kicks with a pointed toe. Then you're going to flex your foot and do 6 more. Then you're going to grab your leg where you can, and then you're going to pulse it 5 times towards your face. 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you're going to see if you can reach further up your leg. And then we're going to hold it here for about 10 seconds. Squeeze your knees, point your toes. Good, then we're going to sit up. If you're on a yoga mat, you might want to shift to the hardwood. So we're going to do the pike shuffle, is what I call it, or the train. You're just going to rock, keep your legs straight, walking with your butt, and then we're going to go backwards. Loosen up the hips, and then we'll go forwards one more time, and then backwards. Okay, good. Now we're going to reach up, and you guessed it, we are doing the pike stretch. Tight hamstrings are often a reason why people struggle with their splits. So it's good to do this stretch to get at those hamstrings. And then try to bring your nose to your knees if you can. Okay, now we're going to flip over onto our stomachs. And then you're going to push up into the cobra stretch. If you can, you're going to bend one leg and then reach around with that hand and then pull your foot to your butt to get a good quad stretch and a good hip flexor stretch. And then switch legs. Good. Now we're going to do 6 scorpions. So if you remember that, I tend to do this one a lot. You're gonna lie your arms out in a T and then you're gonna bring one leg over and then reach for the opposite hand. Trying to keep your chest on the ground if you can. So up and over to the other hand. It's totally okay if you can't reach your hand. That requires like an insane amount of flexibility. All right, when you're done that, you can grab some water and then we're going to stand up and continue our stretches. Okay, so you're gonna stand kind of in a nice bit wider than shoulder width. You're gonna reach up and go on your toes. And then you're gonna bend your knees and your hips, kind of like you're sitting in an imaginary chair. And you're gonna scoop up all the glitter that's on the ground, and then you're gonna throw it in the air. Oh, I missed saying that in class. You're gonna go up on your toes, forward fold, pick up the glitter, and throw it in the air. And then last time, make sure you get all the glitter that's left, and throw it in the air. Good job. Now you're gonna step into an even wider squat. And I like to turn my feet slightly out in this position. I find it feels nicer on my hips. And then we're going to go into a nice wide squat kind of stance here. And then you're really trying to get your tailbone on the ground. So you're trying to be as flat as you can in this position. So I kind of like to rotate my shoulders in the center. And with my hands, I'm pushing my knees to the wall behind me. This one's really good for opening up the hips. And then switch shoulders in the middle. And switch again. Check what is next. Now from this position, you're going to sink even further. You're going to pretend you're going to sit on something. And then you're going to bring your elbows in to inside of your knees. And then push them away from your body while you try to sit your butt on the ground. It's a very funny looking pose, but it is crazy nice on the hips. For those tight, tight hips. And then I also like to rock kind of side to side in this position. And then you're going to place your hands on the ground. And then you're going to turn your feet so they're facing the wall in front of you. And then you're going to stand up and do forward fold. If you can, put your hands on the ground, or you can put your hands on your shins, whatever is more comfortable for you. And then you're going to roll up to the top. Now we're going to kneel down to the classic starting split position. I'm gonna start with my training leg, like always. Nice to get that one out of the way. So this is my favorite split stretch. If you've been here every time I've taught splits, always start with this one. So it's kind of like 90-degree angles everywhere. Then you're going to push your hips to the wall in front of you, kind of tucking your, if you had a tail, you'd be tucking your tail under you. And then you're bringing that same arm, that's your bottom leg, up towards your ear. And then you're just going to lean slightly forwards. I feel a good hip flexor stretch right there. If you can't feel it, you can lean forward more. And make sure you keep tucking that hip under the whole time. Now we're going to go into a deeper lunge. So I just lean forward, might need blah, 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 words. You might need to move your front foot more forward. That was a really hard sentence to get out for some reason. Then you're going to straighten your arms and put them on your front leg if you can. Then you're going to try to, I always put one hand on the ground for this. Then you're going to reach around and try to grab your back leg. That is an insane quad stretch. I haven't done this in a while. Then let it go, and then you're going to try to put either your forearms or hands on the inside of your knee, whatever is comfortable for you today. Then you're going to place your hands on either side of your foot, and then you're going to shoot your thumb back. And then I like to windshield wiper my leg. It warms up all four of your hamstrings. And then we're going to flatten our backs and then go nose to knee. If you want a deeper stretch, you can flex that front foot. That is an insane stretch. Now we are going to slide the splits in like 5 seconds when I can get my timer. And we're going to go for about a minute and 20. So let's get started. Remember, once you get in as far as you can, try to lift up, tuck your back leg under, so your hips are square. And then once you get into a nice position, walk your hands back if you can. Or if you're holding blocks, that is awesome too. I don't have any here. But I can see Sarah is doing a great job with blocks. So if you can see Sarah, follow her if you have blocks. Yeah, and again, I already walked my hands forward, so I was more leaning forward. Make sure you walk them back if you can to keep a nice tall pose or stance, split stance. All right, we're almost done. Keep breathing. Make sure your hips are square. And then for the last 5 seconds, let's try to take our hands off if you can for an extra challenge. And we are done. Good job. Now we gotta do all that on our other leg. So I like to windshield wiper my hips to make them feel a lot better after that stretch. All right, let's go back up to our other leg. So now my left leg is in front. And we're doing one of my favorite stretches, the hip flexor stretch. So tuck your tail under. Push that towards the wall in front of you, and then raise that arm up above your head by your ear, and then just lean slightly forwards. So you can feel that stretch. Make sure you breathe. A lot of people hold their breath when they're stretching. Now we're going to go into the deeper lunge. So you're going to lean more forwards to the deep lunge and put your hands underneath. And you're really keeping your back super straight as you can. Really trying to let your hips sink to the floor in here. Now you're going to reach back. I always do the opposite hand. I don't know why, but that's the hand I always reach for the stretch. I think it's because I feel a much deeper stretch when I reach with my opposite hand. Or you can reach with the same hand. And this is what that looks like for that pose. But I always tend to do the opposite hand because I get a much deeper stretch in my hip flexor. Now you can put both hands on the inside of your knee and try to get down on your forearms if you can today. Good, now you're gonna put both hands by your foot, and then you're gonna shoot your hips back and straighten your front leg. And then just shake out your legs side to side, warm up those hamstrings. And then you're gonna straighten out your back as much as you can, and then you're gonna fold and bring your nose to your knee. And again, if you want a deeper stretch, you can flex that front foot. Good, now 5-second break until I can get the timer back. Okay, if you need blocks, get the blocks ready. Okay, and we're going in 3, 2, 1. Slide into your split. Make sure your hips are square, so once you're down, lift up, tuck your back leg under, and then release, and then walk your hands back. So you have a nice open chest. Squeeze your knees, especially that back knee. I have a bad habit of kind of just sitting in my split, kind of like this, so I'm not fully into it. Make sure you stay fully in your split, and we have about 10 seconds left. You guys are doing great. If you need an extra challenge, maybe walk your hands back further, or take your hands fully off. And we are done. Good. Now to end that, we are going to hold a nice child's pose for a couple seconds to make our hips feel nice again. So I kind of use my yoga mat to guide me. I don't know if you guys have one, but I put my knees on the edges of my mat, then I put my toes together, and I sit my bum on my feet, and then walk my hands out as far as they can go. That is my split stretching for today. I didn't choose to do middles. I thought it'd be nice just to focus on one of the splits today, but don't forget, you do need to stretch your middles. It's just middle splits we don't like each other that much, so I thought it'd be nice just to focus on one split today. But I'll pass back to Anna. That's all I have. Need jokes.
Cheryl.
Eric.
Did you know My favorite word is drool. It just rolls off the tongue.
Oh my gosh. That was fun. I swear, the jokes are one of my favorite parts.